Hello, everyone. Apparently, in my watching the videos where Metalhead Stacker, Poor Man's Gold, AG Stacker 1776, and Addicted to Minis and Loving It, there was a part of the video that dealt with if you have a bunch of debt, should you stack cash or should you stack any silver if you're in debt? To me, it's a question of how much debt. If we're talking about you buy stuff with your credit card and you pay it off every month, or at most, if you bought too much, that you have to take a second payment. That's not the same thing as when I think debt. When I think debt, I'm thinking someone has got a lot of debt. Someone has bought expensive cars or expensive house, got big payments, and that changes the equation for me. Because if you're sitting a big car payment and a lot of credit card debt, big house payments, you probably shouldn't be stacking this stuff or stacking cash for that matter. Now you'll want some for emergencies, but if you have a lot of credit card debt, the interest rate on that is far and away more than what this silver is going to appreciate. You're going to be paying more in interest rate, interest payments than what you're making off of your coins, if you're making anything. And this stuff sitting around, if you've got, lots of money sitting around, it's probably not a good idea to just have it sitting around if you've got a lot of credit card debt. Now, some people say, well, I can't live without having credit card debt. Well, here's a strategy for those who might have too much credit card debt. And it works best if you're at the end of paying for like a new car that you bought. You're on the last payment or two of the loan. That's when you can really do this. Because if your car is in good shape, or you say you have two cars, your husband and wife, you both bought cars 3 or 4 years ago, and your payments on both of these cars is paid off. Well, the cost of a new car on interest, or not just interest, but payments, is pretty high because cars are expensive anymore. It's no big stretch to have $500 or $600 payments. But if you have both of them getting paid off right away in the next month or two, and you got a lot of credit card debt, that $500 to $600 each for them cars might be $1,200. If you've got 5 or 6 different credit cards that you owe near max on some of them, say like you got a store card and it's $500 you owe, or you got a MasterCard and you got a $5,000 limit and it's pretty high. Well, two different ways to do it, and probably the best way is to, I know everybody says attack the highest interest rate, but if you're really in debt and you're struggling to make payments, you probably should pick your lowest balance credit card. So if you got a store card and you got $400 or $500 on it, and you are no longer paying $600 each on two cars, you can wipe that out the next month with the money you were paying for your car payments. That entails not taking your car down to the dealership and trading it in and getting a new car that's probably going to cost you more than what the one did. And people say, well, the car depreciates. Maybe it does. But if you don't drive a whole lot, say you got a 3 or 4 year old new, reasonably new car, and it's got maybe 20, 30,000 miles on it, there's no reason that car can't last you 2 or 3 years. Meanwhile, the saved payments can allow you to pay off all your credit card debt pretty quick, one by one. And that's what I think you should do if you have a lot of debt. Now, it's even better if you've been in your home for 20 years or something, and you're almost paid your home off, and your payment on your home is 1,500 or something. Once that's paid off, don't go to the thing and do a home equity cash out or any of that kind of stuff. You take your 1,500 a month that you were paying on that house, once it's paid off and it's yours free and clear, use that money that you were paying on the house to pay off your credit card debt. Now, like I said, if you've got $100 or $200 balance on a credit card that you use to buy stuff along the month and you pay it off every month, you're fine stacking silver and keeping some spare cash sitting around, waiting for buying opportunities or emergencies, but not if you've got tens of thousands of dollars of credit card debt, which a lot of people do have, and, or big car payments that are being paid off. All that stuff factors in because, yeah, you might say, well, I make a lot of money, but if you spend most every dime you make, do you really have a lot of money? Ask yourself that question. Let's say you clear $5,000 a month. Sounds like a lot, but your car payments and your house payment and food, entertainment, all of it adds up to about $5,000. You can barely pay your credit card bills. You're in a pinch. Even though you make $5,000, it ain't enough in this environment if you have that kind of payment going out. However, if you paid off your cars and that goes from being $5,000 a month going out to $3,500 a month going out, then you have free and clear money that you can use to get out of credit card debt. And to me, if you have large credit card debt, that is the best thing to do. Don't worry about this. You can buy it later. You can start stacking later once you don't have the credit card debt. And you can also buy a different car then once you get rid of that credit card debt. Because if you just go out and get another car or two and your payments add up to at least as much as the old ones were, you're going to be paying out $5,000 a month and be unable to make any progress on your credit card debt. So that's what I think you should do if you have a lot of credit card debt. Don't worry about the silver. You can stack it when you're out of debt. And that's what I think. Have a good night.